Good morning. Welcome to the Meltdown. Today's show is a little earlier than normal, so as I try to get consistency in my time slot, it's just not happening yet. I apologize for those of you that want to be able to see me live. Michael, when he's here, will upload my shows, so you can either see me on YouTube, you can go to themeltdown.com. Now, I've been very busy outside of the office, but I've talking to clients, I'll chase down phone calls. Please call the store between the hours of 10 and 5, Monday through Friday. That's 281-548-2646. 281-548-COIN. Hit option 0, you won't get caught in the phone system. Visit themeltdown.com, and if you want to be able to chat with me while I'm doing a podcast, or you've got messages, you can either email me, that's always Brett at thegoldexchange.net, BRETT at thegoldexchange.net. You can also register with Ustream, that's the source that we use to upload our shows. You can go to Ustream, register for themeltdown.com, and you can come into the chat room and you can chat your questions with me while I'm on air or doing my podcasts. You can leave me messages. I'm really good about it. Email me questions. I want to be able to answer questions. And while I realize of the thousands of dealers out there, everyone's competing for the almighty dollar. Are they just filling the order, or do they understand the complexities of a global economy, one that functions in real time, not the ones that function over a long period of time? I picked on, not really picked, I conversed about Ted last week. And Ted is just getting involved. And while I was having some communications with him here in the store, another younger gentleman came in. And I don't know the amount of money that he's working with. And ultimately, there's always specific issues to every single client that I work with. But I want to be able to provide you good, sound information. When I'm buying product and I'm able to own it at the bid, I'm able to sell it at the dealer ask. And that allows you to save a few percentage points. I'm still going to make the profit. Most people don't understand that the real business is made on the buy side, not the sell side, because everything's liquid. It's just a question of what you own and how fast you want to turn it. Now, I can tell you that I've had clients that have gotten into the program, third, a third, and a third, something that I developed back in the I guess it was the mid-90s. And more companies are coming on board trying to figure out how to explain it. Well, of course, with the advent of the internet and doing a little bit of research, why you can pick up on the nuances. But folks, it's important when you tell me this is what your goal and objective is. If you change that goal and objective in 3 months or 6 months or things change, what you told me didn't change. The goal and the objective were established. I'm filling the goal. So I've had clients that have been too heavy in precious metals, and the position that they took in the rare coin market was the long-term position. But now all of a sudden you see the volatility of gold or silver and you want to get out. I can't change a market condition. That doesn't happen. If you bought silver at $35 or $40 or $45 an ounce and you're looking at it down here at 20, the change of the market may have affected you, but what you told me originally did not. Now, I deal with a lot of professionals, and the professionals that I deal with literally have a game plan. Whether the game plan came from the accountant, the attorney, the tax advisor, that's not my concern or my issue. When you tell me what you want to do, and I'm going to banter back and tell you the way I build a portfolio, and somewhere between a third, and a third, and what you want to do, it's always better when I get to do it your way, because then my head's not on a chopping block. I'm going to put myself out there. I'm going to tell you that over time, I can look at records, books that were printed back in the 40s and 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s, and I can track the retail trend of coins. It's easy to do. It's the comfort level that comes into question. And so when I tell somebody to buy a set of Morgan silver dollars, and the 1893 San Francisco, which is of the business strikes, the rarest of them, in the ugliest grade that you probably wouldn't want to pick up and own, you're going to spend a few $1,000s on it, $2,500 to $3,000. It should always be third-party authenticated and graded, always. There's counterfeits out there where numismatists back in the 30s and 40s, 1930s and 1940s, were able to take a mint mark off of one coin and put it on the other. Well, we can detect those counterfeits, but if you're not educated enough and you go buy them, and I've got a customer, he was buying rare dates, the 16D, the 32 Denver and San Francisco quarters, the 16D dime. He was buying the 1877 Indian penny, and he acquired so many of the better dates that when he brought them in to show them to me, and I asked the first thing, do you still have your invoices? Do you know who you bought this stuff from? Absolutely. Good. And with a 16 power loop, most jewelers use a 10 power loop. I use 16. I want the detail. I want to be able to look at the coin and be able to give you as close a description as to what I think the final grade could be. Not that I always agree with the graders, but I can tell counterfeits. And folks, every coin that he had bought had either been cleaned, whizzed, which is used a Brillo on it to make it look nice, or was counterfeit. The amount of money that he would have lost was in the thousands. Doesn't seem always like the most amount of money, but folks, whether you've got $100 or 100,000 or 100 million, whether you're Mr. Public trying to secure a little bit of savings, or whether you're the manager of a trust, a major corporation, there is a reason why we do what we do. Now, I am not one who advocates gold dory. I proved that yesterday. And yet, as I talk about it, I want you to understand that it always has to do with the amount of money you're working with. Now, I'm in the midst of a dory trade. It's going to be a large trade, and the delivery will be in Switzerland. I can tell you that from the United States, the point of where the shipment will leave to its delivery point should be approximately 1 week. There are ways to tweak transactions, not from, quote, a legality standpoint, but from a protection standpoint for the buyer and the seller, so that both people can do business with comfort and ease. Here in the United States, folks, it's pretty simple. Wire in funds, wire goes out, product shows up in sometime between 24 and 72 hours. It's always dependent upon what you're buying, what the weight is, what's the shipping cost, what's the handling, what's the insurance. Postage, handling, and insurance is a hard cost. And when you want the best deal you can possibly get out there, then those are all real elements of a transaction. Now, in the state of Texas, there are no more sales taxes charged on coins or metal or currency. So you can collect, you can be an investor, a collectivestor, and you can accumulate wealth, protect your dollars, because folks, I'm going to tell you that I watch the chaos in the marketplace. I watch it pretty close. I can tell you that today, this morning's volatility literally shows the Dow aiming for a negative territory. It's down about 120 points in the futures market. The markets are coming live shortly. And so these down days, the way the market's affecting, it's down at 100 points in the futures. The price of oil is back slightly under $100 a barrel. Gold is still in the 1290s. It is still poised at that spot. What I can't tell you is where we're going next, because I don't know who, with the billions and billions of dollars that are out there, where they're going to move, what they're going to try to buy now. Certainly one of the most noteworthy comments of the morning is this $45 billion transaction. Comcast is going to acquire Time Warner Cable. And I listen to commentators, people who say things are getting better and they're not really as bad as they appear. And yet you've got a Fed chairman and a secretary of the Treasury a little over a year ago who both said interest rates are going to be held low, inflation will be kept in check. However, we're going to keep, quote, pumping money into the system. I don't really care that we're tapering. We're still adding to our monetary crisis. We're adding to our debt. Congress is compromising and allowing the debt to grow. The baby boomers are coming into retirement, and Social Security will be drained in about 10, maybe 12, 14 years. You better be smarter than the government and be able to make investments. And that's why this is a show of diversity. It is the opportunity to move some of your assets around. Heck, I keep claiming about my little IRA and what I've done and how it's performed. And I'm thrilled with the performance in some of the stocks. And I even use a little bit of GLD and SLV. They're about 13% of one of my IRAs. And I watch Ford and I watch Microsoft and the other companies, and I'm not a stock advocate. I listen to those guys and all of them keep saying the same darn thing. Look at the market in 2 or 3 years. How about 10 years? Over time, it will be the safest place you can be, and there's great values if you've got a crystal ball and if you can hit one of the 3,500 stocks. See, I've got to deal with rare coins and precious metals. You're dealing with stocks and you're dealing with more volatility, and it may be on a tighter spread, but if you don't know who's moving what, you're going to get creamed. And that's what this all boils down to. Information could be good, but it can also kill you. And I can tell you point blank, I sold a position where I had a nice profit. I put it into another stock that's almost wiped out. It's sad, but it happens. I took a flyer. We all do. Owning a third, owning rare coins and precious metals and other types of collectibles is there to preserve your wealth. That portion that you may not really want to take a whole lot of risk at, but you'll still get involved in. Now, I can tell you the Nikkei was almost down 2%. That's the Japanese stock market. I can tell you that the price of West Texas Intermediate is down less than 1%. Currencies are mixed. Trading continues. Guys are going to make hundreds of thousands and millions and billions of dollars today. It happens every day except from Saturday to Sunday at 5 p.m. Central Time. That's when the overseas markets begin opening. So the message today is own the things that you think you want to own. Talk honestly about what your goals and objectives are. If you can think of it or find it, we'll make a market in it. It's a pretty simple program. There's lots of dealers, there's lots of material, there's online auctions, there's online listings. It's very confusing for the average guy. And I'm talking to people that I know that have been in my industry pushing 20 years, and they still ask questions. Consult was taught to me by somebody who, at the time, I respected a great deal. Over time, not as much. But one of the most basic and fundamental things that he taught me about this industry and really about life is ask and talk to people. Sometimes when we don't do the proper praying or we go to the people that have the knowledge, we fall short and we make mistakes. And so that's really what I want to tell you. This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. It is reality. And reality is that markets get manipulated. And so I want you to be on the right side of the trade. I'm not trying to gloom and doom you to death. I'm trying to just simply state that the world economy is balanced very precariously on a thin wire. And if you make the wrong move, you could lose a lot of your net worth. Now, it's a pretty simple message. All you got to do is email me, Brett at thegoldexchange.net. Call the store, 281-548-2646. Hit option 0. If we don't answer because we're busy inside the store, leave us a message. I promise we'll call you back. Folks, this is the time to do something different. And the insurance company that put up that message is fabulous for doing it. It is something that absolutely stays in my brain when I talk about diversifying and owning different types of metals and coins and collectibles. I never try to get off air without thanking Texas Children's Hospital, both the Ronald McDonald House and the Downs Clinic. That's the Meyer Center. It's on Stadium Drive. I want to say it's about 5 minutes from Fannin, from the main hospital. And Dr. Ostermeyer and her staff are very well trained, very patient. They love the kids, regardless of autism, Downs, spina bifida, any ailment that they can treat. They're going to have somebody that they can consult with, either at the hospital or on the grounds. It's a beautiful facility. It's brand new. Frankly, I love taking Jason there. And of course, the Ronald McDonald House, we've got 2 facilities here in Houston. One's 50 rooms. It's off the campus at TCH. But on Texas Children's, on the 4th floor, there are 20 rooms. They house the family members that stay overnight. They're at bedside 18, 20 hours a day. And so being able to get a hot shower and a place to lay down and catch a nap so that you can stay strong for your kids is a fabulous thing. I was there for almost 3.5 weeks in 2011. And if you can provide a hot meal, please call 832-824-8600. That's 832-824-8600. Nancy Allen and her staff would help you coordinate bringing in hot meals. Like I said, there's going to be probably 30 to 50 minimum every given night. And I know that the people who are utilizing the facility get preference based on the charge nurses and the departments that the families are dealing with, the illnesses that the kids are dealing with. I appreciate the volunteers so much. I had several of them that we saw different times of the day and night, and I really do appreciate them. The doctors, the nurses, and the staff, relentless and tireless. They have their jobs and they love what they do, and I respect them a great deal. Whether they're at Texas Children's, anywhere in the medical center here in Houston, or anywhere overseas, the missionaries that do their work, I love the kids, and I appreciate you supporting them. If you visit themeltdown.com, I've got donation links. The information is all anonymous for me. Your personal information, the amount of money that you donate, but those are the causes that I love, and I appreciate everybody down there, and I appreciate you guys. Now, if you got questions, I've given you contact information, and I hope to be back this afternoon. If I'm not, I'll be back in the morning. Appreciate you tuning in, and Jason, your daddy loves you and he misses you, and I appreciate any prayers for my son and my situation at this time. God bless you all. Have a blessed day. Weather's going to start to improve. It's a shiny day here in Houston. If you're in the Northeast, why, stay warm. Have a great day, and God bless you. Bye-bye.